The spilled oil should be wiped with a rag. Huh. I love doing maintenance. This is fun. I can hear Reina and Fukumai, but they are out of sight. They're in the small space called the Pit. Located in the ditches between the storage tracks, they're oiling up each section of 8620 from underneath. The rag used to wipe the oil will be used for the firing. Make sure you do not discard it. Got it, Hachiroku-san. Hachiroku runs quickly to the source of the voice to check on their work. Her stride is light and agile. I don't blame her. We've come so far. The drive wheel, axle, body, boiler. From serious ones to minor ones, there are a lot of parts to repair. But at least we've gathered all of them, which is about the only thing we've done with them thus far. Still, just looking at them makes me feel the pride of all the craftsmen in Ohatio. The parts, new and old, fit together perfectly.
Thank you very much, Minakasa-sama. If you would please continue inspecting each part.
Not a problem. The old man Minakasa, various volunteer craftsmen, and a bunch of other citizens offered their help. I've gotten such an outpouring of support and help from all over, from Ohatio to Yonoi Line to the Kuma River area.
Thanks for waiting, Sir-chan. Here's the extra distilled water you wanted. I brought it in tanks and put them near the entrance.
Thanks, McCurney. Now we can insert the water, Hachiroku?
I'd like Paulette-san to direct that aspect of the process. Can you do it according to the manual?
Paulette gasps and looks up in response to Hachiroku's voice. In her hands is the handmade maintenance manual Hachiroku made. She's been reading it right up until now.
I've read the manual through and through, so I think it's alright. But I'm worried because I don't have experience with this kind of thing.
Oh, then just follow Omiya-san. Omiya-san, do you mind?
Oh, thank you. I'll be in your care.
Paulette's Maitetsu friends and Reverend Takai's connections were the ones responsible for gathering the former Imperial Railways, technicians and workers. The help and emotions of every one of those people are housed inside the newly reborn 8620. A lot of hands helped bring us to this trial run. From the stone storage to the platform of Ohatio Station, this is the virgin voyage of the reborn 8620, not lasting even 1 kilometer. But unless we take this one tiny step, we can't go anywhere. Stay calm, don't overthink it. Do each and every part surely and accurately. I spin to face the firebox after leaning over the ledge of the window. Nagi takes the one scoop and pretends to shovel in the coal.
Nika-san, are we going to start shoveling or what?
Not yet. You have to wait for the oil and water to be filled up.
I'm tired of waiting. I would have thrown the coal.
The firebox's floor, the grate, being empty, seems to have made Nagi restless. I also want to see the coal burn bright red, but now's not the time. Not yet. Be patient. Throwing coal in by itself won't light it. You have to follow the right steps.
Grrr.
Hooray, we made it. It seems we made it. Oh, it's you, Hibiki. From the entrance of the stone storage, Hibiki comes closer, the sun at her back. She was doing something in her room after saying she'd help in whatever way she could.
Hachiroku, you have a minute? Of course, Hibiki.
Hachiroku walks toward Hibiki. The countless gazes in the stone storage turn to the two.
I researched a lot of material for the display event's flyer. I thought it'd be nice to have something to remember the occasion.
She's holding something rather large and round. Hibiki then hands it over to Hachiroku.
If there's any rules about it, I might be wrong. It's oil paints on plastic sheets, so it's probably not very durable. This is...
A broad smile. Hachiroku grins from ear to ear.
Sotetsu-sama, please help me install it.
Sure. What am I supposed to install? I come down from the cab and realize what it is, and also why Hachiroku's smiling so brightly. I probably won't be able to do it alone. Minakasa-san, do you think you can help me with this?
Definitely.
I know your last name is also Minakasa, but... You mean me. Then sure thing. With the eager Nagi joining in, Old Man Minakasa and I head to the front of 862's. What do you think, Hachiroku?
It's tilted toward the 1 o'clock position. Oh, right there, yes. That's right. That makes it straight. Wow. That's so cute.
I hear cheers coming from behind me. Paulette and Reina are watching me from ways back. I hadn't noticed until just now. It's fitting. Do you call this a nameplate?
That's correct, Sotetsu-san. The mark at the front of the train is called the nameplate.
Trial Run Hachiroku. It's simple yet cute. So this comic drawing is Hachiroku's operation body? It's what they call a miniature character, but I remember Hibiki saying she's not good with them before. I don't know your lingo, but it doesn't seem like you're bad at it. I think it's adorable and good.
Really? Sotetsu-sama?
Hibiki, and now even Hachiroku is being bashful, as given way by her flushed cheeks.
Oh, Sotetsu-kun, this report is a little late.
Yes? Paul's serious voice makes me straighten my posture. Oh, that's right, if Paulette's here, that means...
Injecting of water into 8620's boiler to the prescribed level. Oh, that's right.
They must have been fixated on the nameplate. Even the daydreaming Reina fixes her posture.
All the oil parts have been injected and double-checked. Well done.
Cheerful cries erupt. They stand up straight and salute one another. Hachiroku collects the oil-soaked rag from Reina and then salutes me in a showy way.
Sotetsu-sama?
Yes? I open up the crew bag and take out Hachiroku's operation body from inside. They exchange tablets with a clicking noise. Hachiroku's operation body opens its eyes. Uh-oh. I catch Hachiroku's collapsing maintenance body and put her on her special seat in the engine shed.
Thank you, Sotetsu-sama.
It's still too early to thank you.
I suppose.
It's not too early. It's not too late. It's too late. Now throw in the coal.
We're almost there, Nage-sama. Soon our beginning will arrive.
Hachiroku seems to be trying to tell herself that instead of Nagi.
Isn't that right, Sotetsu-sama?
She smiles directly at me, but deep in her eyes I see the color of worry. Or perhaps I'm only projecting my own insecurities onto Hachiroku. Naturally, we've already made all the necessary preparations.
Then let's do it! Let's do it now!
Nagi exclaims immediately. I follow her into the cab with Hachiroku in my arms. Nagi's absolutely right. Whatever the case, we have to do this. Hachiroku, the rag?
Here, Sotetsu-sama.
The rag feels heavy. I take the oily rags and line them up inside the empty grate. Hada-san, is the boiler ready? This isn't the boiler that's attached to 8620. It's an emergency mid-sized portable one that I asked Hada-san from the boiler shop to bring. How's it? Good, Sotetsu-kun? Hada-san said it's good. Thank you. Now the preparations are complete. I look at Hachiroku and she nods. She takes out an ordinary match from her pocket.
If you would please do the lighting for 8620.
Yes. Divine serenity. Those are the words that come into my head. Even the overeager Nagi keeps quiet as she looks on with bated breath. It's an ordinary match. That's all it is. My fingers begin to shake, so I try to focus my strength to light it. Throw it on the laid out rags inside the grate, and it will set on fire. Nagi, firewood?
Firewood coming right up.
High quality dried firewood. It almost seems like a waste to use this generous donation from the forestry co-op as mere kindling. It burns well. The firewood instantly ignites, the grate quickly turning into a floor of fire. Now's the right timing. I hold up my hand in silence and Nagi hands me the one scoop, also in silence.
There's no intake or exhaust right now.
I know. Go slow and spread it out. Make sure not to leave any gaps though. I scatter the coal onto the floor in a flowing motion, without turning or forcefully hurling the shovel. But the coal refuses to burn. The burning firewood and rags seem to be getting smothered by the coal.
Ignition ready, check.
Ignition ready, check. But this is how it's supposed to be. Everything up to this point is just preparation. From here on out is the real thing.
Blower?
Blower. The roaring steam whistle pitches as the blower valve opens.
Help! Yes.
The steam from the portable boiler Hada-san brought goes through the boiler tubes and to the chimney. With the exhaust being suddenly emitted, air is sucked into the firebox.
Hey, the coal's starting to burn!
Going from black to red, the coal explodes into fire and heat strong enough to burn your skin without question.
Ignition check?
Ignition check.
Ignition checked and good.
It's going as planned. Soon it'll function solely on the steam it's generating. An appropriate amount of air from the blower and coal will continue the cycle of intake and combustion and exhaust.
Now 8620 can finally run.
Her energetic voice drips with motivation. I don't want to be a downer, but there isn't a way I can move it myself. No, not yet.
Not yet? Why?
I'm positive Nagi was at the meeting about the trial run, but it's meaningless to bring that up now. It'll take at least another 4 to 5 hours before it can run.
4 to 5 hours? Why will it take that long?
I could give you a long explanation, but you're better off just killing time doing something else. The steam from 8620's boiler still has to reach all parts of the locomotive. All I need to do is shovel the right amount of coal so I can do it entirely alone.
Don't kid me. I'm not stupid enough to give up now, especially after coming this far.
She walks over and sits down hard on the engineer assistant's seat.
Let's hear the explanation. Give it to me. Then even if the explanation takes 5 hours.
Seems like the steam is starting to move around to all the parts it's supposed to. The glacial movement of the pressure meter has finally reached regular pressure. Almost there.
Yes, it sure has taken quite a while.
She motions me with her eyes, so I pick up Hachiroku in order for her to look outside the cab's window.
Taking Nagi-sama's own words, not a single person here is stupid.
Agreed. The people who gathered at the engine shed are all still hanging around. A soft, warm fragrance emanates. The smell of rice balls and miso soup. McCurney was here cooking for everyone.
Shows how much hope everyone is putting into 8620.
That's part of it. They also feel responsible because of it. Hatroka nods deeply. Even though it's been completely repaired, we don't know what'll happen until we run it.
They're prepared in case something happens.
That's right. They're watching over us so that we can finish the trial run.
We should be very appreciative of them. They've done too much for us already.
The coal provided is of a higher quality, even among the well-respected Kyushu coal. The distilled water, firewood, and steam, they're all the same. We didn't need such high-quality materials for this trial.
Everyone has brought us these things to lessen the strain on 8620 as much as possible.
We should be thankful.
Yes, very.
In that case, Hatroka, it's now our turn to give. My thoughts come out through my mouth, and those words will invariably cause a chain reaction of emotions. We're sharing the fire of 8620's survival, the heat, the steam, in order to awaken our friends that are still sleeping.
Yes, Utetsu-sama.
A strong nod of agreement. Hatroka turns and gazes at me straight on.
For everything that we have received from everyone, I want to share it with my sisters.
Yes.
Yip yip yip.
Well, what's the matter, Con?
What's up? What happened?
Hibiki and Reina run outside to the source of the barking.
What's wrong, Con? What are you calling? Whoa! Wow, that's amazing. It's the bell ringer's sparrows.
Sparrows?
That means the engine shed has come back to life.
She smiles brightly, her frantic attitude nearly contagious. Her voice, full of energy, fails at hiding her emotions.
Sparrows are known to like the heat from the steam. The sparrows of active engine sheds turn black from the soots.
Oh, then we should make sure to give them what they want. Let's turn them black. The steam whistle blows, this pitch higher and powder than ever before. At the same time, Nagi wakes up. She had fallen asleep 5 minutes into my lecture.
Is it ready to run?
Naturally, that's the first question out of her mouth. Instead of answering, though, I hand her the one scoop.
First off, start with a pace of 1 shovel every 20 seconds. I'm counting on you, engineer assistant, Miniko Sanagi. 1 every 20 seconds. Got it.
Nagi jumps up and opens the gate. Heat and the color red fills the cab.
Oil levels, running gear, check. All green, boiler water, level, check.
Hatroka begins doing the call-out checks without warning. I respond to her exactly as I've been trained to. Air pump all green, brake test, automatic brake valve check, independent brake valve check. All sections check, meter readings all green. After confirming the checks with Hatroku, she turns to me for a brief moment before looking out the windshield.
Bypass valve, drain cock open.
Bypass valve, drain cock open, check.
Automatic brake valve, independent brake valve, position drive.
Automatic brake valve, independent brake valve, drive position check. The automatic brake valve and independent brake valve are both released. Now to put it into gear. I put in the reversing gears, moving the steam into the cylinders to start up 8620.
Reversing gears, forward full gear.
Reversing gears, forward full gear, check.
Depart.
My gaze turns from the side to the front. Departure signal is green. Let's go.
Go!
All aboard. Together with our call-out, the bypass valve and drain cock are closed. I then sound off the steam whistle to bring attention to it.
Sudetsu-sama, the regulator, slowly, very, very slowly.
Yes. The regulator manages the amount of steam that flows into the cylinder, so I gradually pull the connected lever to open it.
The water is filling up.
Yes. The steam that flows into the cold cylinder will turn into water. Thus, the drain cock has to be opened to let the water out.
Oh!
I hear a repeated puffing noise. From the cylinder to the piston and then to the drive wheel, the steam begins to channel its power.
Put the reversing gear to 65.
Reversing gear at 65, check. To receive maximum torque, the forward full gear has its rate reduced from 80% to 65. By reducing it, loss of power is minimized, forcing the steam's power into acceleration. Puff, puff, puff.
It's moving! It's really moving!
Naturally. Did Nagi notice the first turn of the drive wheel? That's how slow 8620 has come out of its slumber.
Gradually open up the regulator to match the reversing gear.
Yes. Puff, puff, puff. The sound of the blast will be how I measure the turning of the drive wheel. As instructed by Hachiroku, for each turn I pull the regulator's lever to reduce the reversing handle.
Entering the Ojo Onsen station line, number 1 platform, prepare to stop.
I suddenly become nervous, not realizing how quickly we've arrived, but my training takes over. Reversing gear at mid-gear, adjusting gear, closing. The reversing gear is neither in forward nor reverse, but in mid-gear, which is like being in neutral. And with the regulator closed, the steam that pushes the driving wheels cut off, 8620 is now running purely on inertia.
Cylinder pressure check. Open bypass valve and drain cock.
Bypass valve, drain cock, opening, check.
Not yet, Sudetsu-sama. Not yet. Almost there.
Trains do not stop easily. Hachiroku calms me, knowing that I have that image in my head.
We're just a single locomotive, and the tender is empty. We are this light and slow, so we can stop immediately.
I can't respond. The stopping point's getting close. I get overeager, and the words begin to swirl around in my head.
Now, the automatic brake valve on normal.
Automatic brake valve on normal. The locomotive itself, along with the freight and passenger cars being pulled, all automatically brake in unison. I move the handles steadily and set it to normal, moving to the points where brake pressure is applied. Good.
Sudetsu-sama, you don't have to grip the handle so tightly.
Oh. I notice only after she mentions it. I'm white-knuckling it. I loosen my grip, though I start thinking about unnecessary things. When it's just a locomotive, there's not much difference between the automatic and independent brakes, it seems. But Hachiroku instructed me to use the automatic brakes in the exact place that I want the entire train to stop because she's anticipating when we'll be drawing filled passenger cars.
Automatic brake valve on drive.
Automatic brake valve on drive, check. This is bad. I need to maintain my focus. Wait, no. If the brake position is in drive, that means there's no brake pressure. We stopped! There's no shock or force because we stopped, not by brakes, but by friction in the train's weight. Well done. That's all I can say. We were stopped precisely at the right spot. I turn toward Hachiroku to call out to her, but she comes to me and begins pointing at my hands.
Independent brake valve on slow. Reversing gear back in mid-gear.
Oh, that's right. This train won't be going to the next station. We'll stop here and be inspected. I lightly apply the brakes so that the train doesn't move on its own by external forces and the like. After returning the gear to neutral, I finally let go of the brake handle.
Well done, Sutetsu-sama.
Yeah, well done. Oh, yes. The running time must be less than 5 minutes, and yet... Is this excitement? Or was I just scared? I'm drenched in sweat. However, I'm not even sure why I'm sweating so much. Right now I have an amazing feeling of release and a little bit of...
Wow, look at the station! Oh my.
Oh. I don't know if it was Paulette or Hibiki. No, most likely everyone gathered together to prepare it.
It's so pretty, it's funny.
There's a huge board with ribbons and a bunch of hands are holding it up with a big smile. On the board is colorful writing that says,
"Congratulations on the test run. Welcome back 8620. It's to congratulate us."
Yeah.
So Tetsu-sama.
Hachoku's eyes are teary. Although she may say it's steam exhaust, I envy Hachoku a little in how she's able to cry.
This is Ohatio. This is the town and people you want to protect.
Yes, this is Ohatio, the town that raised me. It may be hubris of me to claim I have to protect it. Whoa! Something's falling from the sky!
Snow? Oh, no, it's confetti.
Leaning over the cab window, Nagi looks up at the sky. But I already know why. Nothing must also be giving us its blessing. She must be touched. Hachoku buries her face in my arms and shakes. I stroke her hair, but as I do, something catches my eye from above. Osho Kisaki and Urakami. Hibiki hasn't noticed either. When did they start watching? They're not here to give their blessing, but only to observe. Their businesslike attitude proves it. I feel like she's looking at me. No, I'm sure of it. Osho Kisaki grins before mouthing words in an exaggerated way. Is that the best you can do? Is that what she's saying? Kisaki naturally doesn't state her response, and simply turns around to walk away with Urakami. I suppose so.
So that's just how.
All we did was turn the drive wheel, though it may be a great feat on its own. Tourism promotion? We can't even carry a single tourist at the moment. It just dawned on me. We really haven't even gotten going yet. This is just the start of things.
Yes, you're right.
She takes out a small handkerchief from her pocket and wipes her cheek.
It's still too early to cry.
She didn't mention anything about steam exhaust this time. Hachoku distinctly said cry. She whispers into my ear with a smile.
Fan service is an important part of the job as an engineer, so Tetsu-sama.
I see. In that case, I sound off the steam whistle. This is my thanks to the people on the platform and to Ohatio. And at the same time, this signals a new beginning from here on out. Huh, well that seems to go well. And we're back in the bathhouse. Predictably, I guess.
Nissan. Do you want me to wash your back? Shadetsu-kun, you still look a bit tired. You should hang out and relax a little longer.
To my right and to my left, Hibiki and Paulette sit very close as they continue to talk. I think I did well today, if I do say so myself. I'm sure they're trying to show their appreciation. If that's the case, I wish they would let me enjoy the bath in peace and quiet. Oh. Nagi, do you have a minute?
Huh, sure. What is it, Nissan?
It seems she and Fukumai have finished washing each other's backs. Nagi responds to me and comes trotting over.
Nagi-chan, your front, hide your front. Huh? Why? Fukumai-chan, it's not dangling anything that I need to hide.
That's true, although, I mean, come on. What Nagi says is correct.
No, it's a precious part of you, so you shouldn't show it to just anyone. Yes, that's exactly right. It's slutty to flaunt it about. I don't know if it's slutty or not, but if you're going to cry and moan about it, I'll hide it.
Still, now Paulette and Chibuki join in with Fukumai, as they should. Seeing the slits on the crotch mean nothing to someone with a little sister. Still. If it's something that must be kept hidden, looking at it would be considered rude. I avert my eyes from Nagi, only to see Hachiroku and Reina washing each other's backs, imitating Nagi and Fukumai.
That tickles, Hachiroku-san. Ah, stop moving around so much. Hey, why are you running away?
Innocent and peaceful. This is nice. Reina's warmth seems to be able to melt away Hachiroku's stubbornness, at least somewhat.
Well, what did you want, Nissan?
Oh, yes. I've been carried away by the celebratory mood from the success of the test run and forgot to mention something. Nagi, I want to ask you to stay on board as 8620's engineer assistant.
Even after summer vacation? I can't. I have to work at the downstreaming job after school.
Oh, I hadn't considered that, in all honesty. I'd completely forgotten about it. Fukumai stares at me with worried eyes. She understands that Nagi's need for the downstreaming. I've no intention of taking her away from that. I should just stop here. Sorry, I completely forgot. You got better with the coal shoveling so quickly that I got overeager.
I don't blame you.
Her voice and expression are the embodiment of boasting. Nagi sticks out her flat chest.
When the river is flooding and we can't send out the boats, I can help you out then.
That'd be great. Right now I'm a complete novice, an almost complete amateur engineer. In order to extend the test run distance and eventually become a commercial line, the help of an assistant is necessary. But this is a problem.
Nissan, this is the one always practicing with you.
Yes, with the shuffling of the coal, that's the main job alongside assisting with operating the locomotive itself.
If I practice, would I be able to do it?
Yes, you could. That required no hesitation to say. Hibiki is well versed in academics and sports. Moreover, she always puts in the effort. How could I have missed this? Hibiki's also small in stature. Perfect.
Then I'd like to try practicing. If I can do it, I want to be Nini's and Nissan's engineer assistant.
I see. That'd be helpful. Though that'd be for 8620 instead of me, but there's no point in mentioning that now. What's most important is that this will be another step toward the safe business operation of 8620.
Except, it's not a consideration or a condition or anything, but...
What is it? If you have a preference, let me know.
It's just, like, how the means and the end got mixed up a little. I might be able to see what you want.
Huh? That she mentions it, I might have that tendency. The revival of the railway is a means of promoting tourism, while also driving away the aircraft factory. However,
I think you should know more about Ohatoyo if you really want to revive Ohatoyo as a whole.
What should I do?
Even with the brewery, my drawing of the signboard and other stuff deals closely with the people of Ohatoyo.
So you're saying that if I shift my focus a little to my home, or your work, I could get a better balance of everything? Yep. Hibiki gives a relieved smile. She'd wanted to say this, but couldn't. I realize now that Hibiki's finally her usual self.
Excuse me, I have a request, or rather an opinion.
Sure, shoot. The success of the test runs made everyone excited. I don't hold my alcohol well, but I know what being drunk feels like. This is the time when I hear opinions without interrupting, so right now I'm just going to focus on listening.
The basic line is the same as Hibiki-chan, but how about taking a different approach?
What's that?
For example, Sutetsu-kun, you could enter as the policy secretary and focus on tourism promotion at the municipal level.
Oh. Hibiki suggested a bottom-up method, while Paulette wants to go top-down. They have the same goal of tourism promotion and the revival of OHO, but their methods are diametrically opposite.
With the test run this time, I think many key people of OHO have put their trust in you, and their connections too.
So with the vast influence of policy, its effect can be pretty huge. I do understand what you mean, Paulette. Paulette's cheeks puff up, forming a particularly pouty look. I feel as if this is the first time I've seen such an honest expression from her. Honest to the point of making my heart jump.
You just understand?
Yes, I understand Hibiki's opinion in much the same way.
Nini.
Oh, hello, Hachiriku. A calm voice from Hibiki. I hear a watery splash coinciding with it.
I do believe that both of your opinions are entirely valid.
Hachiriku. Seems like she and Reina finally finished washing up. Hachiriku has an air of accomplishment on her face as she quietly enters the bath and sits on my lap.
But the grassroots activity is what Hibiki's good at, and policymaking is what Paulette-sama is good at.
That's true. To build upon a grassroots foundation and to use government policy as the tool, those are Hibiki and Paulette's methods that they've nurtured all their life. Neither of them are things I can easily dive into.
Every man to his trade, Sutetsu-sama. Your suitability as engineer is clear as day.
Hachiriku's words aren't a request, she's simply laying out the facts she believes in.
Within 6 months, I believe you can operate the train without an assistant, much like Kiyomi, who's also an engineer.
Hachiriku makes her declaration before looking to me, then to Hibiki and Paulette in that order.
Thus, Sutetsu-sama, you should simply move forward on the rails before you. If you clear the path, everyone will follow.
Although it's a little extreme, you have a point. Hachiriku's talking about putting all my focus into one thing, and becoming the flagship that everyone can see. If that flag shows the right path, those who see it will surely follow suit. Hibiki, Paulette, Hachiriku. Even if I don't take their opinions verbatim, they're useful as a reference for future goals. Now then, whose opinion fits me best? If I can't decide, rather than wasting time, I should just pick one and act. If it doesn't work, I can always change course. Alright. Splash. I make up my mind and exit the bath. For now... Pick Hachiriku's suggestion, Paulette's suggestion, or Hibiki's suggestion. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first choice in the entire game. Okay. So let's see. So Hachiriku's is what? Basically, you're good at being an engineer, focus on being a good engineer, and I guess that'll make us have a good train line, which will help with tourism, which will help with not needing the factory to revitalize the economy. Okay. God, the thing I don't like about this, which, okay, I do like some things about it. I like the focus aspect, you know. If we're going with the train thing, if we want to make these trains work, we focus on the trains. That makes sense. if you're trying to juggle too many things and too many aspects at once, then you might just end up dropping all the balls. Focusing on just the trains, getting that working, and then who knows, maybe moving on to something else once we've established that, could be the most surefire way to ensure that the trains are successful. And therefore, hopefully, tourism and stuff. And then but the thing I don't like about it is it kind of, to me, reminds me of just the philosophy of build it and they will come, which is generally not how things end up working out. I do like the idea of either getting out into the community a bit more like Hibiki's suggesting, or potentially getting the government to work, potentially. So yeah, and then Paulette's run for office or something? I mean, there's certainly a lot of things you can do in the government, I guess. Although, it's tough to say exactly what we'd be able to accomplish from there. We could certainly maybe get some policies in order that could help benefit tourism and the like, which would be good. Or maybe we just end up getting stuck with a bunch of bureaucratic red tape and not getting much of anything accomplished. Who knows? Yeah. But there's certainly power to be wielded with the government, and if we can harness that power to our ends, then that could be a powerful tool in our toolbox. And then we've got Hibiki's suggestion here of becoming more acquainted with the community to kind of, I guess, become one with the community and therefore be better at helping the community. Seems decent. Seems like a decent logic there. Not quite sure I'm immediately seeing exactly how it helps, as I am with the other two. So I'm torn between Hachiroku and Paulette at the moment. One thing worth noting is if we're looking to kind of pivot the city in a more touristy direction, then that's almost going to necessitate some sorts of changes in policy at kind of the local city level, you know? I mean, I can't name them specifically, but I'm certain these kind of touristy areas have, most of them probably put in certain policies and legislation and stuff and tax loopholes or whatever in place to encourage tourism. I mean, that's just kind of makes sense. So if we want, I'm kind of thinking we go with Pod's suggestion, go into the government, try to get some tourism favorable policies in order. Not to mention, with getting these tourism, with potentially helping out with tourism from the governmental level, that can also help other people with their own tourism-related projects succeed and kind of compound with the railway. Whereas if we focus purely on the railway, then we've got a nice railway, but we don't necessarily immediately see the growth of the tourism industry in other areas. So, we'll go with Paulette's suggestion. Hopefully this is a good decision. What's this? Bye.